Did you know that 25 people in the audience tonight will one day die of air pollution-related diseases? Whether that's heart disease, lung cancer, emphysema, or chronic bronchitis, that I'm not sure of. But what I am sure of is that air pollution is the fastest growing killer in the world, and I'm also sure that we don't want to live like this. So what is the cause of all this pollution? Well, it's simple. Coal. Coal to burn for our energy usage and consumption. And what's making this worse is urbanization. Over the next 30 years, we're expected to increase our energy consumption by 100%. It's a huge amount. And there's a big consumer of all of this energy. There's only one, and it's buildings. Buildings consume 47.6% of all the energy that we produce. It's a huge amount. And the biggest culprits in the buildings are commercial buildings, at 84% of that. So what there is a huge problem and a simple solution: improving the energy efficiency of our buildings so we can have a world that looks like this. And what we did is ask ourselves that same question. And I asked myself that same question 3 years ago. And then I found this fact, that it takes only 6 days for the air in China and Asia to reach the west coast of the US. And 75% of all of the pollution we find here in the west coast of the US can be tracked directly from Asia. So I did what anyone would do when they find out that information. I quit my job in banking. I gave up my bank bonus, which was really nice, and I booked a flight to Shanghai, knowing no one or knowing really not much about what to expect. The first thing I did is I found a partner. And after that, we basically together identified opportunities for us to work together in this industry. And we worked on finding the most impactful ways for buildings to maximize value while reducing their energy. As you can see, 5 key components. And let me show you what I'm talking about. In New York, this is the Empire State Building, as I'm sure you know. They just retrofit their building and focused on 3 simple ways to reduce their energy. One was through their air and air conditioning systems. 2 was through their lighting and daylighting. And 3 was using windows and other insulation solutions. From there, they were able to save $4.4 million in energy each year. And they got a guaranteed payback from Johnson & Controls, the contractor on the project, of 5 years. They're guaranteed to get their money back in 5, but most likely less. Through that, they were able to offset their carbon emissions by the equivalent to 21,000 airplanes. It's a huge amount each year. So if it's this simple, why aren't more buildings doing it? And that's really what we wanted to know. So what we figured out is that building owners don't know what's available. They don't have access to the providers or trust of the providers of what they can do for them in their building. And they don't know how to make it financially viable. Financing and incentives are there, but building owners, decision makers, operators, and managers don't have access to them. So that's why we created Cedar, one place for decision makers to connect with solution providers in an efficient way. So it's an online marketplace where these building decision makers can get information on past projects, on incentives, and on the best vendors for them. So let me show you a quick example of one we worked on. So this is a hotel in the Dominican Republic. They came to Cedar on our website to figure out what ways they could save energy, because in the Dominican Republic, they have incredibly high energy rates. So they figured out that solar was the most impactful way for them to have a difference, reduce their energy bill. So they basically searched solar panels on our website, typed in their location, and clicked submit. Within 48 hours, we had 7 proposals from verified and qualified providers of solar panels in their inbox. So that hotel was able to actually go through each proposal, see the details, see the quotes, and view their portfolios of each company on the Cedar website. Each portfolio contains information on the past projects, the reviews from past clients, and publications that these providers may have published. It's really simple, all in one place. And from there, they were able to implement rooftop solar of 33.6 kilowatts in a very simple and easy way. And through that, they saved over $10,000 a year in their energy costs. And they had a huge reduction in their carbon emissions, as you can see. So it makes sense but we want to make it make even more sense, because right now 2/3 of all projects out there that want to improve their buildings fail because they don't have access to the financing or the ability to pay the upfront costs. So we want to solve that. And we are partnering with local banks, private investors, and NGOs such as the World Bank to make it easier to access financing to reduce and sometimes even eliminate the upfront costs of these improvements, these energy improvements. And if only 1 in 10 buildings, implemented energy-saving solutions just like this solar project in the Dominican Republic, 3.5 million lives would be saved every year. It's a huge number. But we know that change doesn't start at the top, although as much I've tried to do that, it doesn't. It starts at the bottom, and it starts with you guys. Everyone here, everyone watching. We want you to have an impact. So tonight, we're launching a new initiative. It's called energizemybuilding.com. It's a site that you can simply go on, type in your name, your email, your address, and your building information. And we will actually reach out to your building decision maker or property management company to explain to them in a report how they can actually save energy and how we can make it financially viable for them. So what we want you to do tonight, right now if you want, pull out your phones, you can nominate your building by going to energizemybuilding.com, type in your information, and we will get in touch with your building owner or property manager. And if you don't want to use the website, you can tweet it. Tweet your address with the hashtag #EnergizeMyBuilding, and we will start a revolution from the ground up. Because here at Cedar, we are planting the seeds for a cleaner tomorrow. And buildings, just like seeds, if taken care of, can grow into something beautiful and useful. Thank you.